and welcome to Inspiring Voices, the podcast of the Cornwall Federation of WIs. In this episode, we're going to chat to three people you may or may not be familiar with, and these are the three members of our office staff. I think some members might not even know we have an office, but we have. It's in 3 Milestone in Truro, and we have three part-time paid staff members. They are Julia, who's our Federation Secretary and Office Manager. Hello, Julia.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And we've got Sophie Mitchell, who is our accounts administrator.
Hi, everybody.
And then we've got the lovely Corenza, who you might know because she generally answers the phone. So you might know Corenza's voice.
Hello, everyone.
So if the phone ring, you might hear ringing phone in the background in this episode because it is a work day and it is a working office. So we'll just have to go with it. Julia, can I start with you?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're our office manager. You oversee these other two. How is that? And what does your
Oh,
job entail?
it's a pleasure. It's been lovely since Sophie and Corenza have been here. This year's been, we've had some changes in staff, and they've recently joined us this year, and they're getting on brilliantly. So we're having lots of fun. What does my job entail? Okay, I suppose primarily it's to support the Board of Trustees with their monthly meetings and be there at the meetings, take the minutes and carry out any actions and write up the minutes after and prepare the agenda for the next meeting. I also have an awful lot to do with preparing the annual council meeting, which is a meeting once a year, usually at the Hall for Cornwall. We have lovely speakers come. We have our important annual office business that we have to carry out. But and then we have lots of speakers, and we have our award ceremonies, and it's a lovely, lovely day. So that involves quite a lot of preparation.
And I know
And
you've been spending a lot of time on that over the last couple of months because, of course, the next meeting is the 23rd of October. So it's getting down to the wire, isn't it?
oh, it certainly is. Yeah, this is the point where I sort of wake up in the night and have a little panic. Why have I done that? And you come in, you go, phew, it's okay. But yeah, it's very busy now. But it's busy few weeks now, but it's really, really worth it. It's lots of
And you've
fun.
had to do a lot of liaising with our speakers' agents and all that sort of thing.
It's not so straightforward as you think, yes, because you always have to deal with our agent, and it's trying to coordinate the times and arrival, and will they come for sound checks, and will they come and draw the raffle with us or anything? So yeah, it's lots of fun, but yes, it's a lot of organising.
And you make your job sound quite straightforward with the dealing with the board, but honestly, as a member of the board, I will say that you keep us all in line, and I don't think we could manage without you. We had a month not long ago when you weren't at our meeting and just everything fell apart.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you've been very kind, I think. Yes, the board members are all fantastic. They all know what's going on. But yes, yeah, it was tricky. But if I miss a board meeting, I'm very out of it as well. So it takes me a long time to catch up. So I do my best to be there for all the meetings. But yeah.
Sophie, you haven't been with us that long, have you? When did you start work for the Federation?
I started in February of this year, just at the end of February. So
And you are accounts administrator. And
I
what
am.
what does that mean?
Well, that means that I deal with the day-to-day monies in and monies out of the Federation. So we do a weekly payment run to suppliers and members who have submitted expenses claims. And deal with the one bill accounts. So in April time, that's a busy time of gathering one bill accounts, managing payments to national as part of the subscriptions, and helping out in the office. So answering the phone, answering emails, and answering inquiries from members.
Do you get a lot of questions from members, from
We do.
WIs?
Yeah, we do. And every day is different in here, which is one of the things that I love about working in the office. I think ever since I've been working here, has been at least one inquiry per day that we've never had before. So I've had to ask for advice from Julia and from Corenza and from board members of how we manage certain inquiries, and it's yeah, every day's different.
Well, that's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Makes it
definitely.
interesting.
Yes.
And you haven't been with us that long either, Corenza, have you?
No, I'm the newbie, so I've only been here for 3 months.
It
And
feels as if all three of you have been a team forever, to be honest.
yeah, we get along really well. I think we've found a really great way of making everything work in the office. Yeah.
So, Corenza, you're sort of the first point of call, aren't you, when people ring up the office? I know you're there 3 of the 4 days that we're open.
Yes, yes. 9 times out of 10, it'll be me answering the phone. So I I get to I get to take all sorts of inquiries and try to help people and field out calls to the people that might be able to answer it better than me.
Is that fun or frustrating answering questions?
It's quite fun because, as Sophie said, every day is different and it keeps us on our toes. And every day I'm trying to answer questions. I'm also learning more about the WI and how it works and how to answer the next question better.
Speaking of learning about the WI, you're not a WI member. In fact, I think Julie is the only one of the three of you who is. And it's certainly, it doesn't, you're not required to be a WI member. Is it something you thought about?
Every time I see the trips and I learn more and more about the WI, it becomes a more attractive proposition. Yeah.
So speaking of trips and events, that's a big part of your job, isn't it?
Yes, administering events and what goes on after it's been advertised, that's when I get involved. So all the application forms and inquiries and um, you know liaising with the event organizers. That's kind of my job in the background. Um, informing everyone that they've got a place on an event is always lovely and joyful. And running the ballots. Uh, yeah, mainly the event administration, and yeah, it's good.
But I can't remember, but I have looked at your computer and I should have tried to count how many spreadsheets you have. Thousands.
I have a lot of spreadsheets I'm always trying to juggle. Yeah, flipping between them, and yeah, it's good. It's good. Maybe I should have got 2 screens like Sophie has.
So you have a busy life as well, Corenza, don't you? Is it just one daughter you have?
2 daughters,
Two
both at
daughters.
college now. Yeah, yeah, and we all play in a brass band together, so
Oh, tell us
that's
about that.
really busy. So we all play for St. Pinnock Brass Band, based in East Tap House. And we contest, we do concerts, it keeps us out of trouble, put it that way.
Is that your husband as well, or you and your daughters?
No, he doesn't play a brass instrument, so we go off without him. A little wave goodbye, off to do brass again.
So we have three very talented staff members. Got Corenza in her brass band. Sophie, tell us about what you do when you're not working at Chynoweth.
Ah, well, the other hat that I have is that I teach ballroom and Latin American dancing. So I have been dancing since I was 7, and I did a lot of competing in my junior and juvenile days. Took a little break and went back to the school where I first learned how to dance, the Gemini Dance Studios in Lanna. Went back there just before I had my little boy, about 10 years ago, and have now taken my teacher's exams. So I help out at evening classes at the school, and I also take my own private lessons, which
That's
is a lot of fun.
really exciting. I'm wondering if there's a Federation dance workshop event somewhere in our
Ooh,
future.
that sounds exciting. Yeah. Strictly party. Anybody watching Strictly?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's a staple in our household. Everything has to be switched off, switched to silent,
Now,
and
as a dancer, are you a nightmare to watch Strictly with? Do you really just tear things apart?
well, well, interesting you say that. I was told off by my 10-year-old this weekend just gone because apparently I was giving my opinion during the performance and I needed to wait until the end of the performance to then pause it and give him my opinion. So yes, I have been told off by interrupting the performances on the television. But I love the show. I love the show.
Yeah, it's
It's
great.
amazing. Yeah.
And Julia,
Hello.
leaving you until last,
That's
Julia
okay.
is an amazing artist. Tell
Oh,
us a
thank
little bit about your painting, Julia.
Oh, well, I've been painting always, really. I just did art O level at school, and then I left school and I got a job like everyone did. So, but I carried on my painting. So I remember I lived in Newquay then, and I joined the Newquay Art Society. And I remember I was the youngest member. I was about 17, and everybody else seemed really ancient, but they were probably only like 40s or whatever. But to somebody being really young, I was the baby, and I was soon in there, and I was the treasurer, this, that, and the other. So just for years and years, it's been like a hobby, and I've dabbled. I've done lots and lots of fairs and sold my work at various exhibitions, things like the Art Society. I was with True Art Society as well for a long time. And I've done little Christmas fairs, the Luggan fairs, and I just love it. I do local scenes really, mostly in watercolour, but I dabble in pastel and acrylic. And it's something I pick up, put down. Sometimes I do more than other times. And we've just been away on holiday, and I did quite a few sketches in my little notebook by the Lake Derwent at Keswick. So that was good fun. Just sitting there painting with all the ducks and the birds coming up around me. So I haven't got anything lined up at the moment, but I'm going to see if I can do a Christmas fair or something because I've been doing quite a few cards and things. So just need somewhere to show my work again.
So you went on holiday, you and your husband Ian went on holiday, didn't you?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. We've had a little touring break. We went all the way to the Lake District. We've always camped since before we had the children. We were campers, and then we had we moved to gradually bigger cars, bigger tents. Then we had a pop top camper van, and we just recently bought a just slightly bigger camper van, and we love it. So we just wanted to tour around the country, really, up to Scotland, and we often go across to France and Spain as well on the ferry. So that's another great love of ours.
Lovely. It's great that you can have these holidays, but we do miss you when you're away. So we're glad that you're back. We're glad to have all three of you back in the office.
Oh, yeah, it all runs a bit smoother when we're all here, for
It
sure.
does. Yeah. So when you're at work, what do you find most challenging, and what are your favorite things about your job?
Um, oh, most challenging, I think, is when you've got an awful lot of things to do and you want to do them all and you don't want to, say to anybody, "Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't done that yet." So it's trying to find that balance really, because everybody's lovely, everybody needs your attention. And so I think that's the challenging part. I think just when you've got an awful lot of work coming in all at the same time, but it usually sorts itself out though. And people are really, really good. I think all the WI ladies, everybody's lovely. Everybody's tolerant and understands if you're running a bit late or you're busy or everything. They're very, very good. I think so it's enjoyable helping people, and when you get nice comments back, it's enjoyable meeting lots of different people from different walks of life. And plus when you talk to people, I do the Federation Secretary workshops, and so you get to see some of the secretaries from all over the country, and that's really nice to hear they've all got the same issues and questions that you have, so it really connects you with everybody. Sometimes you think, oh, it's just us who've got these questions and things, but it's you realize everybody has the same things, whether you're here or you're up north somewhere. So
Yeah, it's
that's
nice to know, isn't it? Reassuring.
it. Yeah. And yeah, and the days fly by here. I think Sophie said that. Yeah, absolutely. We look at the clock and there's another 2 or 3 hours gone just like that, which is a great thing. You've never ever sat here bored, so that's a great part of the job. Yeah.
Now, all three of you were helping at this year's Royal Cornwall Show in June, weren't you? What was that
Yeah.
experience like, Sophie?
Oh, I loved it. I have had experience of being up there as part of the Royal Cornwall Show team for Cornwall Council when I worked for the council, and it was always a tiring time. But when it's always enjoyable, you get to meet so many different people. Again, the day goes by so quickly, but it's always a fun atmosphere. As you said, to meet new people, put faces to names sometimes that you've spoken to on the telephone, and then you meet in person, and all the WI members that come through, and the members of the public who come in and appreciate a sit down and a nice cup of tea in a proper cup and saucer. But it's always tiring, but it's such a good fun experience.
And Carenza, you were there before you'd actually even started working for us officially. You came in and helped us in the marquee, which was great.
It was a great introduction to the WI, and it was lovely to meet so many of the board members and the members before I officially sat in the receptionist chair, just to get to know everybody and the way everybody worked together to bring the event together and make it a success was just brilliant. Yeah, it was really good.
And it'll be sort of a similar experience at the annual council meeting as well, where you'll have a chance to meet lots of people.
Yes, it's going to be great getting to see more faces that I've spoken to on the phone and help everybody out on the day. It's going to be a good busy day. Yeah, and getting to see the guest speakers, and yeah, that's going to be an experience.
So tell me about some of your work challenges.
Juggling the spreadsheets. I like to think that I can, every time someone calls or inquires, I like to think I can help them to the best of my ability. And sometimes it's, yeah, just knowing the right places to signpost people, because obviously I'm so new that I know that I don't know a lot of things. So I find it frustrating if I can't immediately help someone. So yeah, I think those are my challenges, and juggling all the things, all the events, and yeah, but yeah.
And I imagine it's quite similar for you, Sophie, being quite a new member of of staff. It is
Yes,
a learning curve, isn't it?
it's a huge learning curve, huge. And I remember Sue, who most of the members will probably know, Sue Martin, who did the finance job for a little while before me. She said that to really understand the workings of the Federation, you need to be in post for a full 12 months to understand the life cycle, the full 12-month life cycle of the Federation. Because there are certain things that happen every year. We have the resolution roadshows every year, for example. We have the national meeting. We have the annual council meeting. We have the one bill, which is specifically to the finance side. But I'm getting there, but it's understanding it's getting the overall full cycle of the Federation. And I think Julia mentioned it's the conflicting priorities sometimes. For me, I'm only in the office for 2 days a week, and we're all together just for one of those days. So it's making sure that I am liaising with Carenza as much as I can on a Tuesday about events and things like that, so that I can get the information from her, so that I can carry on and do any refunds or any banking of checks, for example, on the Wednesday when I'm back. So, and then sometimes if it's a particularly busy day with visitors or with the phone ringing, every time you get kind of interrupted or distracted, that's just a little bit challenging sometimes to get back on track and just to make sure you're meeting your priorities. But at the same time, like Julia said, it's the day goes by so quickly. There's never a dull moment, and I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. We do gel really well together, and hopefully everything comes out good in the end.
Well, so far it has. Now we're recording this on a Tuesday morning, so what have you all got in store for the rest of the day?
Well, I'll be processing more annual council meeting ticket applications, labelling envelopes for the county news postings, answering more inquiries, filling up more spreadsheets to pass on to Sophie.
I'm going to be ticking along with the council meeting. I'm going through checking all our invited guests and see who's replied and if anybody hasn't, and updating that. All the award winners that I've been contacting, just got a couple of more to contact, and then just making my list ready for the day and see who's going to come and collect their awards. And a few other bits and pieces, lots of council meeting. And also there's a lot of work to do with being the time of year. We've got a special board meeting that will be held after the annual council meeting. So I'm sort of getting paperwork prepared, ready for that.
And that's where we elect the new officers, isn't it?
That's right, yes. So that's it. So the new board of trustees, which will be announced at the council meeting, and then the week after that, the officers of chair and vice chair and treasurer will be elected at the board meeting, plus other federation roles as well. So quite a bit of paperwork involved in that. So getting on top of that.
Can you breathe a little easy after that?
Oh, yes, that's absolutely, yeah. This is a particularly busy time of year as well. There's a lot of paperwork as well for the subcommittees, all of their agendas, because as a secretary, I produced their first agenda, so I need to liaise with them and also send them all their terms of reference and standing orders as well. So there's a lot of getting things together now. Then once I get through about the middle of November, I can then breathe a sigh of relief and start looking forward to Christmas.
And what's on your diary for today, Sophie?
This is my first day in the office this week, so I am processing and banking a lot of checks that have been sent to us in the post over the last few days. I will be checking the bank account and reconciling any payments that we've received by backs for events, annual council meeting tickets, stationery orders, and then I will be preparing all the invoices that we've received ready for the payment run tomorrow.
Well, it's been lovely talking to the three of you. If anyone is in the Truro area and wants to stop in, and if you haven't met these three incredible women, please stop in and say hello. We're open Monday through Thursday from, remind me of the times, is it 9 until 4:30?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you ring up and you speak to someone, maybe you'll know a little bit more about them now. So thank you all for taking the time to talk to me, and it's been lovely.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.